The Morton Arboretum is known worldwide for its wonderful plant collections, extraordinary diversity, and commitment to quality. And the Arboretum has grown so much over the past 2 decades. We need to support and sustain that growth with capital improvements, and then we need to invest in the future. The Growing Brilliantly campaign focuses on 5 major areas of investment. Our SelfHarm Curatorial and Operations Center, the continued success and support of our children's garden, the establishment of a Center for Tree Science, investments in our tree conservation programs, and finally our new plant development program.
I think a lot of people visit the Arboretum and they see that we've been in existence since 1922 and they think it's kind of a finished product and all we have to do is maintain it. That's not the case. Any good garden evolves with the times, and we're always trying to stay ahead of the curve in that regard, and sometimes create the curve. None of this would be possible without SelfHarm, of course.
SelfHarm is the heart of the Morton Arboretum. The things we love and enjoy at the Arboretum are only made possible by the work of the staff who work out of SelfHarm.
I run a business and I know how important the back room of an operation is, the part that nobody sees. And SelfHarm is where everything starts. It's where all the equipment is maintained, it's where all the workers go, it's where their offices are and their lunchroom is, and it's where everything happens in the back that nobody sees. And in order to maintain a beautiful arboretum, you have to have an adequate back room. And SelfHarm has not kept up with the growth of the rest of the Arboretum. We're short of space back there, the buildings are old, it really needs to be updated. I think the general public knows about the wonderful visitor center and children's garden and collections, but what they don't know is the science that goes on behind the scenes.
The New Plant Development Program is a tree and shrub breeding program where we work on creating new types of trees and shrubs that are resistant to pest and disease, tolerant of urban growing conditions, are Chicagoland hardy, and non-invasive. We're also working on backing up our living collections. We're propagating some of our old trees that we know are special and have genes and germplasm that we want to keep. We are literally sowing hundreds of thousands of seeds every year. All of this takes space, and right now we're very limited. Having more greenhouse space available is going to allow all of our research programs to grow and hopefully allow me to find more of those special trees to bring diversity back into our urban ecosystems and guarantee that we have a beautiful future.
Some of these challenges we have with trees cannot be solved by one institution. You need a lot of minds working on these issues.
The Center for Tree Science is a new initiative being led by the Morton Arboretum to stimulate collaboration among scientists worldwide.
By the Morton Arboretum bringing people together who are all focused on a common issue. Now, all of a sudden, this knowledge becomes not just 1 + 1 + 1. It's actually much greater than any one scientist can do alone.
And the Center for Tree Science not only will fund research, but also the development of future scientists. That's not happening to the extent that it did in the past in our research universities. And so it falls to unique and distinctive places like the Morton Arboretum to train future tree scientists.
So the Center for Tree Science is really about achieving the knowledge. Conservation is really that application of that knowledge. Conservation requires relationship building with groups who are in contact with these trees and forests every day. So our conservation programs develop those relationships and develop strategies that target certain species and help protect them.
Here in the Chicago metropolitan region, we're focused on the Chicago Region Trees Initiative, a broad collaboration across the Chicago area to plant and protect trees and improve our urban forest. And then globally on the Global Trees Campaign, catalyzing conservation action for the world's endangered tree species.
In order to want to protect something, you have to care for something. And in order to care for something, you have to understand it.
My kids now are 18 and 22 years of age. My wife and I started bringing them here when they were both in strollers. One of our favorite places was the children's garden. It's like a living classroom for kids. They can come out and they can play and get exercise, but also learn while they're doing it.
I really like that kids can play outside, the gardens, the slides, the interactive activities that they have for them. They learn to appreciate nature and the beauty of nature.
You really can't put a price on everything you see here. It's completely invaluable.
The Children's Garden has been a marvelous success, and the number of people who visit it each year far exceeds what we had projected. And so we need to invest in what is the great success of the Children's Garden, adding capacity where kids have shown us they want to dwell and play and learn.
And we hope that we will develop our future conservationists and our future scientists.
The Arboretum is a very important part of the local community. It's a resource for education, it's a resource for plant knowledge, it's a venue for getting away from it all, and it's also a place for science and research that benefits the whole world.
We are growing at a tremendous rate, and in order to continue that growth and success, we have to continue to invest.
The Growing Brilliantly campaign is an opportunity to support the Arboretum's mission, which is really to make our world better, greener, healthier, and more beautiful by planting and protecting trees. We invite everyone to join the Morton Arboretum as champions of trees and support the Growing Brilliantly campaign.